You know exactly what you should do, but you don't do it, and then you feel worse. Here's the thing, you're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're not broken. So why can't you just do the thing? The answer? It's not more willpower. It's something almost nobody understands about how your mind actually works. And I'm about to show you exactly what it is. Let me paint you a picture. Actually, three pictures, and I'm willing to bet you see yourself in at least one. Your alarm goes off. You know it's time to get up. Your brain knows it's important. You set that alarm for a reason, but your bed is so warm, and your pillow is so perfect. And your voice, this little voice in your head, it says just 5 more minutes. You negotiate with yourself. 5 minutes becomes 10, 10 becomes 15, and you're watching it happen. You're literally watching yourself do it like you're not fully in control. And there's another part of you that's winning. When you finally drag yourself out, you feel ashamed, but also powerless, like there's a civil war happening inside you. Monday rolls around. You decide. You genuinely decide this week, I'm eating better. I'm going to be disciplined about this. You mean it. You're not lying to yourself. Wednesday comes. You're at the vending machine. And here's the weird part. You know the chips aren't what you want. You know you decided again to you or sort of too. You know you decided against a guy, yes, a guy. It goes. You know you decided you relative to the guy else. I'm curious. Like you know, could have this against or I get back. But your hand is reaching anyway. You're watching yourself do it. It's like you're a passenger in your own body. There's a knowing part of you, and there's a part of you that doesn't care about knowing, and the not caring part, it's winning. Someone you care about says something. It's small. It's mildly annoying. It shouldn't even land. But suddenly, and I mean suddenly, you're angry. Not reasonably frustrated, but fired up, defensive, reactive. You snap at them. And the second the words leave your mouth, you regret them. You knew better. You wanted to respond differently, but something else took over. Something you didn't authorize. Again, you're not in control, or at least it doesn't feel like you are. Here's what all three of these have in common. You're contradicting yourself. You're at war with you, and you don't even understand why it's happening. That's the frustration. That's the problem. You know what's good. You're not Steve. You're not. You know it's good. You're not good. You're not good. You're not still from results. You're lost. But you do the opposite anyway. And no amount of lectures from the internet about just be more disciplined actually fixes it, because the problem isn't what people think it is. Nearly 2,400 years ago, there was a guy named Plato, and he didn't have psychology degrees. He didn't have fMRI machines. He didn't have any of our modern science. What he did have was careful observation. He watched human beings. He watched how they dings. He watched how they dears, how they dia, how they thee. He watched how they oft, how they contradicted themselves, how they wanted one thing but did another. And he figured something out, something radical. Ready? You're not one unified person. You're more like a committee in your head. Here's how it works. You have three distinct parts of your mind, three different voices, three different agendas. Reason. It sees the big picture. Spirit. This is your courage, your willpower, your competitive drive. It's the part that fights for what matters. It's got passion. It's got oomph, appetite. This is the part that wants comfort, pleasure, ease, right now. It's not evil. It's not bad. It just wants what it wants immediately. Those three parts, they're all you. They're all real. And most of the time, they're not working together. So here's what's actually happening in those three scenarios I told you about. Your reason knows exercise is good. Your reason knows you should sleep. Your reason knows you shouldn't snap at someone you care about. But your appetite is screaming. It wants comfort. It wants pleasure. It wants ease. And your spirit is caught in the middle, exhausted, drained, fighting a war it can't win because it's not getting back up from reason, so it feels like you're failing. It feels like you lack willpower. But that's not what's happening. Your committee isn't organized. That's the real problem. When appetite is in charge and reason and spirit aren't backing each other up, you feel like you're fighting yourself. Because you are. But here's the good news. When they're working together, when all three parts are on the same page, you experience something completely different. Peace, clarity, actual strength. Not the kind of strength that comes from Gug, that comes from Gug to an A and the Munich. Because the Alan is not in a coverist and so is character in jazz. The like fences, years, that's but the kind that comes from being whole, that changes everything. Let's talk about why you're so tired. Most people think they're exhausted because they lack willpower, because they're not disciplined enough, because they don't have the strength to just do the thing. But that's wrong. Here's what's actually happening. You're exhausted because your mind is at war with itself. Think about it. You're lying in bed at night. You know you should sleep. Reason is fully on board. I have an important day tomorrow. But appetite is whispering, just one more video. Just scroll for 5 minutes. Come on. You deserve to unwind. And your spirit, your willpower, it's caught between them, trying to negotiate, trying to decide, trying to referee a fight between two parts of yourself. That negotiation, that internal back and forth, it drains energy, massive amounts of it. Here's the wild part. The person who just goes to bed with all three parts in agreement uses less willpower than the person lying there arguing with themselves for 30 minutes. All that mental exhaustion, it's not coming from discipline. It's coming from fragmentation. It's your mind cannibalizing itself. But here's what most people miss. That exhaustion is actually feedback. It's diagnostic information. It's your system telling you something is. The moment you understand that, everything shifts. Instead of thinking, I'm weak, I need more willpower, you start asking, what would it take for my whole self to be on the same page? That question? That changes where you look for solutions. Here's another thing everyone gets wrong about willpower and discipline. People think it's all about knowing what's right. They think, if I just understand that exercise is good, I'll do it. If I just know that scrolling is a bees, is a scrolling is the trailer, mother scrolling. So scrolling is a chat. All that scrolling is a twirling. What says scroll aerosol is an aerosoling exorcist scrollless. From scroll. But Plato knew something that modern psychology has confirmed. Knowing something and doing something are not the same thing. Not even close. You know exercise is good. Your reason? It's completely on board. Yeah, we should definitely work out. It's healthy. It'll boost energy. We'll feel accomplished. Reason has made its case. Reason is right. But reason is weak. It can argue all day. It can make the most logical, perfect case. But it can't enforce anything. It can't actually make you move. That's where spirit comes in. Spirit is the part with the muscle. Spirit is what actually makes things happen. But here's the problem. Reason and spirit often aren't aligned. Reason is saying one thing. Spirit doesn't care because reason hasn't connected it to what spirit actually cares about. Identity, honor, the kind of person you want to be. This is why the whole just be more disciplined culture fails for most PA. For most PALs, for most PAs, for most PA. When willpower fails, when you eat the chips despite knowing better, people blame themselves. I'm not disciplined enough. I don't have what it takes. I'm weak. But what's actually happening is that your reason and your spirit aren't in alliance. Maybe reason knows exercise is good for my health, but spirit doesn't connect with that. Spirit's thinking, this is boring. This is hard. I don't feel like it. The fix isn't stronger reason. The fix is stronger alliance between reason and spirit. You've got to make reason's argument matter emotionally. Not just logically, emotionally. Connect it to who you actually are. Connect it to what you actually care about. Connect it to identity, honor, respect. Make reason's case something spirit wants to fight for. That's what actually works. Here's the truth. Nobody wants to hear willpower is finite. You have a limited supply of it. It's like a battery, and batteries run out. You cannot win every battle through sheer force. You'll exhaust yourself, and you'll fail. But here's the thing, you don't have to. Plato figured something out a long time ago. He understood something that modern psychology has spent a century confirming: your environment either supports or undermines your internal harmony. If appetite is everywhere and easy, if all the triggers are accessible, if all the temptations are right there in front of you, even a strong spirit will eventually crack. You can't willpower your way through an environment that's working against you, so don't. Design your environment to work for you instead. Don't keep junk food visible in your house. Make it harder for appetite to win. Put your phone in another room when you're supposed to be working. Remember you're supposed to be working. Remember, remjueth. In remlessly, strong spewberg, remagical core, and benaldors, remendurus, and force report. Remove the temptation. Remove the choice. Schedule your exercise like it's a meeting. Lock it in. Make it already decided so your spirit doesn't have to fight that battle every single day. Tell someone your goal. Involve them. This gives spirit social backup. This makes your commitment real outside of just your own head. This isn't weakness. This isn't cheating. This isn't admitting defeat. This is wisdom. The person who designs their environment to support internal harmony, that person is stronger, not weaker, stronger, because they're working with how the mind actually functions instead of fighting against it. Plato knew this. The smartest people in the world know this. And now you know it too. I know what you might be thinking. So let me address it head on. Some of you are thinking, this sounds like I have to suppress all my desires, like I have to become a socially tuned hamzwa to participate, to become a tress, like I have to become a picoles, like if all my desires, like if like all pleasure gets crushed in the name of discipline. I get it. That sounds terrible, but that's not what Plato is saying. Plato isn't against pleasure. He's against pleasure being in charge. Here's the difference. A person with internal harmony still enjoys food, still enjoys pleasure, still enjoys achievement, still enjoys comfort. The difference is measure and timing. It's not no pizza ever. It's pizza is amazing, and so is sleeping well, so let me enjoy pizza in a way that doesn't steal from my sleep. It's not never relax. It's relax after I've accomplished something, so I can actually enjoy it guilt-free. When all three parts of your mind are aligned around a choice, something shifts. You can actually enjoy it without the shame, without the regret, without the internal conflict. You're not crushing appetite. You're orchestrating ignorance, or ignorance, you're orchestrating it. Orchestrating. You're putting it in harmony with the rest of you. And when everything's in harmony, the pleasure is deeper. The satisfaction is real. That's not joylessness. That's actual joy. Second thing I hear, I can't suddenly become this perfectly balanced person. This is unrealistic. I don't have the capacity for this. And here's the thing, Plato's entire point is that this is built gradually through repeated practice over time. You don't wake up one day and achieve perfect harmony. That's not how it works. You start small, you commit to one cold shower, one meal without your phone, one difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Each small choice, it strengthens the alliance between reason and spirit. It builds the muscle. Week 1, become aware. Notice when your parts are in conflict. That's it, just awareness. Week 2 to 3, pick one small discipline you can actually sustain. Minj, leapsmal. Make it something you know you can do. Month 2 and beyond, watch how strengthening this one thing makes everything else easier. That's the compounding effect. That's how it works. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. It's about consistent small choices that add up over time. This is accessible. This is for regular people, not superhuman monks. Regular people like you who can commit to small, consistent choices. Okay, enough theory. Let me show you exactly how this works in real life. It's 8 p.m. You said you were going to work on something important tonight. A project. Something you care about. Something that matters. You've been at it for a while. You're making progress. But now appetite is whispering in your ear. You're tired. You deserve a break. Just 5 minutes of scrolling. Come on. You've earned it. You feel the pull. It's real. It's strong. Here's exactly what you do. Stop. Ask yourself, what part of me is speaking right now? Notice the answer, appetite, your comfort-seeking part. It's tired. It wants ease. It wants stimulation. That's it. Don't judge it. Don't fight it yet. Just name it. This pause alone, this changes everything, because most people don't pause. They just react. Now you invite the other parts to speak. First, let appetite have its full say. Appetite speaks, I want the break. I'm bored with this work. The work. I'm bored with this work. Let me scroll. I need a break. Listen to it. Don't shut it down. Don't shame it. Just listen. Now bring in spirit. Spirit speaks actually. I feel frustrated because I want to make progress on this. I don't want to waste tonight. I care about this project. I want to feel like I'm building something. Feel the difference. Spirit isn't asking for comfort. Spirit is asking for meaning, for accomplishment, for identity. Now let reason have the birdathon, the reason, for I have to write to the bar. For sums for identity, and kids of upgrade interest shrift, and religions or. Reason speaks, here's what I see. If I scroll, I lose focus. I waste an hour. I feel worse about myself. I don't sleep as well because my brain is overstimulated. But if I push through 30 more minutes of work, if I just finish this one thing, I'll feel genuinely accomplished. And then I can relax. And then the rest actually feels good instead of guilty. Reason synthesizes it all. Reason sees the whole picture. You choose to keep working. But here's what's different. You're not fighting yourself. You're not grinding through it with pure willpower, teeth gritted, hating every second. Your whole self is on board. Spirit cares about accomplishment. Reason sees the logic. And appetite? Appetite gets to relax after guilt-free, without the internal conflict that would steal the joy from it. This is important. Pay attention to how this feels. That feeling of doing something hard, something that requires effort, but feeling whole while you're doing it, feeling aligned, not fragmented. That's internal justice. That's what Plato was talking about. You didn't need more willpower. You didn't need to grit your teeth harder. You didn't need to be more disciplined. You just needed your three parts to work together. And the best part? When you finally finish and you relax, when you scroll or you rest or you actually enjoy it. Because there's no shame. There's no regret. There's no voice in your head saying you shouldn't be doing this. All of you gave it permission. That's what real satisfaction feels like. Let me bring this home. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're fragmented. There's a part of you that knows what's best. There's a part of you that wants to fight for it. And there's a part of you that wants comfort and ease. The moment, and I mean the moment you understand that you have three parts that need to work together, everything shifts. You stop blaming yourself for lacking willpower. You stop thinking you're weak. You start asking, how do I get all three parts on the same page? That's the real question. That's the real power. When you stop seeing yourself as one unified person with a willpower problem and you start seeing yourself as a committee that needs to get, and when you stop fighting yourself, when all three parts are in harmony, you experience something most people never feel: genuine peace, actual strength, real clarity. Not the exhausted, grinding strength of willpower alone, but the quiet, grounded strength of a mind that's working together, of a self that's whole. That's the promise of Plato's teaching. That's what's available to you. Right now, think about a decision or a habit you're struggling with, a place where a part of you knows what's best, but another part keeps winning. Ask yourself, what would change if, instead of blaming yourself for lacking willpower, you asked this instead: what would it take for all three parts of me to want the same thing? Really sit with that. This all comes from Plato's Republic, one of the most from Plato's Republic, one of the most prickers and one of the most Plato's Republic, one of the most prickers from Plato's Republic, one of the most Plato's Republic. If you want to go deeper into this, if you want to actually read how Plato breaks this down, I highly recommend it. It'll change how you see yourself. But I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. What's one small choice this week where you're going to try getting all three parts of you on the same page? Which part tends to take over for you? Is it appetite? Is it spirit running wild? Is it reason getting crushed? Tell me. I want to know. And honestly, your comment might help someone else see themselves in your experience. This framework changes lives when people actually use it, as they actually try it. So try it this week and come back and tell me what happened. Thanks for watching. And seriously, drop that comment. Let's build a community of people actually getting their minds working together instead of at war with themselves.